Welcome back, everyone. If you're watching this, then you know that Doge has went above 20 cent right now. We're at around 19.6, but we have been battling that 20 cent mark. We did get the closure above 18 on the daily. And if you watched the video from earlier today, you know that we are in gap territory. I'm going to zoom out here for this chart. And you'll see if I had the point 0.5 in here, you would see another line here at around the 26 range. But I personally don't like using that, but I'm pointing it out. So that puts us in range for 26 to 30 as our next major resistance points. Now we have some older ones in here from was this like back in like 2022, which is around like 22 cent, which kind of aligns with that rejection that we got the first time when we had that big squeeze, not necessarily a big squeeze, but we had that big covering a few weeks back. We saw that we were projecting to kind of have that run, but then we reached that and we went back down to around the 18 cent. So for now, we're still looking to close above this. Even if we just close at 19-20 cent, we don't have to go on like a complete tear right now. But this continues the trend of which we were seeing. And I want to point out the current trend here. So this is what we were talking about earlier, this line here. Matter of fact, I'll put it back. So I gave you the scenario that we could possibly see the other shoulder of the inverse head and shoulders. Now, this is still a very bullish pattern. So even if we did get some type of push down into here, this is just an example. The shoulder can be any number of lengths, and then that would still give us that breakout. Or what we talked about earlier, we could continue the current trend, which is what we're on right now. Because if you look at even where this candle closed, this is all a bullish trend. I was going to show you here, and I'm going to zoom up. So this entire run here is a bullish trend, right? So, and if you look at this, we've had, let's see. So we have only had 2 red days out of the last 9 red days, our last 9 days total, right? So not as strong as this movement, but nonetheless, this is certainly a very bullish pattern. So this is giving you an idea of the current trend here. And so I know there's been a lot of questions about, are we going to pull back to 15? We're going to go grab liquidity around like 12 or something like that. Unlikely. We're going to have to see firstly a big push down here, and then worst case scenarios, we get this second shoulder on the inverse head and shoulders. But again, that's still a bullish pattern. It's not a head and shoulder, it's an inverse. So typically after that second shoulder, you take off anyway. So in any scenario that we're looking at, whether you're on a bullish scenario or the bearish, both of them are bullish patterns. We took a look at the longs versus shorts earlier. We saw that they were being outnumbered. The longs were outnumbering 2-1 the shorts. And as a matter of fact, while I'm talking about shorts, let's take a look here. I made a post on Twitter today saying that they are getting ready to grab their ankles, and they are starting to run right now. This is a red candle here, down 16.39%. When you go back and you look at that zone, which we're going to do in a moment, if you're a short position at around 18 cent, 15 cent, or something like that, it's time to reconsider the position. So don't get wrecked with the capital R. But I imagine the smart ones are getting out now. We'll see how they respond over the next day or so. Typically, Dogecoin likes to run at night, so we may see some more positive action here within the next couple of hours. But right now, they are certainly awake. If they were asleep, they're awake now to get out of those positions. But we'll see where this candle ends up closing here. So hopefully we can close that around. If we close at 20 cent or above, this is golden. That certainly opens up that zone for us to have that next leg and go even higher. Because right now, this is technically, we are starting the second leg here. But even if we look at the 18 cent, we're about 2-3 candles above it. So this leg here is kind of recuperating from even the big push down. We had the whale dump, the 87 million coins. We had the Bitcoin sell off, and then we pretty much regained that within a day and start pushing up. So that's the big thing that's going on right now. Another big thing that we have to kind of consider is the fact that Doge is doing huge numbers overall as far as for the top being in the top 10. I'm going to pull it up here. We are closing in on USDC and XRP, which is huge, right? This is what I meant by a few weeks ago when I said Doge is no longer a joke. You can't do the meme thing anymore. You're going to be sadly mistaken. I think shorts are going to have to find this out the hard way. Let's make sure you can see this. Okay, perfect. So let's take a look here. So we are at 28.2 billion. USDC is at 32, right? So we're talking about $4 billion roughly separates us and the number 7 spot. But if you look at XRP, it's not another billion. So we're talking about another 5 billion or so. And we are looking at being number 7, number 6 position in the top 10. Right. So you can say what you want about Doge. Doge is if you still want to call it a meme coin, Doge is the king of memes. So Doge is proving that for the second bull run in a row. This is like, it's at this point, it's going to be like an undisputed situation here. If you just disagree with that, you're just a hater here, because if you look across the board, all green, 1 hour, 24 hour, 7-day, all green across the board. So the next person to do that in the top 10 is BNB. The only person to do it in the top 10 is BNB. Everybody else is either red on the 24 hour or the 1 hour or the 7-day. So the movement that's coming into here is going to say a lot as far as what's going forward. We know we have X payments, all this kind of good stuff coming in. So this is not a short-term scenario. This is a lot of momentum that's coming into the coin here. And as we talked about in some of these earlier positions, people are taking positions. It's the scenario is that the foundation is being built around the coin. And when you have this type of strong foundations being built around the coin, it becomes obvious that it's undervalued, and people are like, okay, let me take a position now before it starts to see equilibriums in the market. So let's take a look here at long short ratios here. Still 2-to-1 across the board. On the 5 minute, 68%, 30 minute, 68, 1 hour, 68, 4 hour, 68, 1 day, 68. Still across the board. Let's take a look here at liquidations. So right now, for the most part, they have been. Well, this is on the 24 hour, so we'll have to wait to kind of get an update, because we see that the shorts are running here, because this is still pretty much similar to what we looked at earlier today, when the shorts and longs were kind of like doing that big swap. So right now, it hasn't updated because we see the big numbers that are coming in as far as for shorts being down to 16. So we'll check back with this a little later today to kind of get an idea. Open interest on Doge now is still going up. We are looking at 1.589 billion. We are almost at 1.6 billion. We're probably going to be at $2 billion in open interest before the end of the month. This is, as you can see, this is certainly a bullish trend. And this is showing, when you start seeing open interest increasing along with the overall trend of the coin, this is how we kind of come to that conclusion that we are in fact headed toward more bullishness to come, right? You have a lot of the long-term investors, a lot of the options coming out. Remember, we don't even have futures yet. Futures are going to play a part in this going forward. But right now, this is just options contracts. And we have the evidence in the background that people are being very bullish and taking positions overall in the coin. So this is kind of the reason I've been my last few videos, that we're able to kind of take a look at what's going on in the background and kind of project before it actually happens in the candles. And we've been able to successfully do that over the last few days here, and kind of get an idea of what were the projections going forward. So I think this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I am certainly interested to see where we're going to close for today. I think that we will end up having that run maybe to around 21 cents. That would be a great position for me, but we'll see how this goes. Typically, that happens in the next couple of hours. Dogecoin likes to run at night for some reason. So we'll see. And if anything happens, I will be here. Just have your notifications turned on. I will keep you up to date for sure. and we will go from there. So right now, 1970, we'll see if we have that retest here. We need to close above that 20 cent. I'll say that'll be a great confirmation if we can close at 20 cent or above, kind of like right here where we keep getting that push down. Because I know some people are going to take profits. People like to do round numbers, psychological reasons, just like they'll do the same thing at 25 cent, at 30 cent. It's typically not how it works, but people psychologically, they're like, oh, it's going to be a big sell-off, and everybody panics and starts selling, and that's what kind of turns into the big sell-off. That's kind of why there's a big sell-off, but that's a different topic for a different video. So, but we'll see where we end up closing at. Right now, again, this trend is very bullish. It is doing absolutely phenomenal. So I will keep you guys posted. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you do. We're going to hit 100,000 subscribers this year. I want to make sure that if you are finding value in the channel, that you are in that number. We're all going to make history here. Dogecoin is going to make history. This channel is going to make history. It's going to be a good year. So let's kind of stay posted with that. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next video.